If you're scared, just be scarier than whatever's scaring you. Hey friends, it's KT. It's no secret that I totally adore MegaXL, and while the blasters that Hasbro has made to shoot it are fine, honestly, they could go a little farther. I definitely immediately wanted to find ways to shoot MegaXL harder and faster and more conveniently. As I showed in my recent video about different options for shooting MegaXL, I did build the Titan Forge Blaster's Chronos mod, which is awesome. It's like a sidearm. You can pull it out of a holster and shoot really quick, and it performs quite well. But I still wanted to have that performance with larger capacity. Now, I really recommend that mod, especially because it's pretty easy to put together. But when notorious remixer and designer Sillybutts came up with the Thumper, I totally jumped at the chance to be a beta tester for it. And I gotta say, now that I've got it all working, it's just way too much fun. I really love showing off cool, weird new blasters and designs, so please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and I'll know that I should do more videos like this. So the Thumper is based largely on the Talonclaw, with some bits borrowed from the Skewer, both of which are 3D printed single-shot short dart blasters. But instead of using the front end from either of those blasters, it uses this almost sort of Byzantine pulling mechanism here, where there's an entire plunger tube cover and then this side rail that helps feed this harmonica clip down. Each of these pieces of the clip is actually a module, so you can extend it as far as you want, or as far as you're willing to print them. I've printed 7 modules so far, but he's still working on the design. This is actually already out of date. He's made some changes since I finished the last few pieces of mine. But this is an older style of the clip modules that doesn't seat quite as far in. Although it was performing fine, but it definitely does feed a little bit better with this one. You just grab this big old skewer style T-pull and it'll feed the magazine right in, and it's hitting pretty hard. It's getting on average a little over 70 feet per second. Compare that to the stock Nerf blasters that are getting around in the 50s. A 20 FPS jump is a pretty significant leap. I'm also getting some outlier shots in the low 80s, which is a lot for a spring-powered MegaXL blaster. Now I'm going to compare this with the Boomdozer. 54, 51, 55, 56, 54, 39. Ouch. So as far as I'm concerned, you can get this up to the capacity of the big rig. You can shoot 6 rounds out of this. It gets a little unwieldy, but that consistent power, the consistent power that you get with this versus the big rig's relatively, I shouldn't call it weak performance because it is sort of the standard for the ammo type, and they do fly quite far even with the stock blasters, but the power that you get out of this versus the weight, they weigh about the same, and this is super front heavy. Now interestingly, I've noticed some real problems with the consistency of MegaXL darts. Some of them are firmer than others. There seems to be slight but significant variations in the diameter of the darts. And considering that all the stock blasters are using barrels to hold them, you would think that that consistency would be very important. I tried a variety of darts. I used some that I took to the last game that have gotten dirty and have gotten a little bit crushed. I used some that are softer, and I used some that measured in a little bit narrower, and I compared them to ones that fit tightly in the barrel. All right, this is only with tight-fitting MegaXL. 74, okay. So now this is with only loose-fitting darts. 82, 64, and a 71. So regardless of tight or loose-fitting darts, it seems pretty consistent, which is impressive. And I think it has a lot to do with that barrel. that he designed. If you look at the way the barrels are made on the boom dozer, they have these air channels built into them. Silly Butts put those air channels on the barrel here as well, but they're rifled a little bit. I don't know if rifled is the right word. I guess they're just spiraled. But they do rotate as they come out. I'm wondering if that has something to do with the consistency of its ability to grip the MegaXL dart. Because that's a pretty loose-fitting one. And it still fires pretty hard. I don't really notice a significant difference. I've had friends put together air-powered MegaXL blasters that are getting in the hundreds, which is great, but when you have to spend that long pumping for one shot, it's not necessarily as tactically useful. Although I've been tagged out by it, I'm not going to pretend. So there's a couple different ways you can configure this. I got Silly Butts to put together both top and bottom pieces for the harmonica clip that actually lock the clip in. So if you fire all your rounds, if you go again, it catches. And what I've been doing to refeed it is just turning it over and sort of wiggling this. This one is new, so it's catching a little bit, and then it just kind of runs back to the bottom. I can refill, and I can go again. I know that people have been really interested in mag-fed MegaXL, and I don't think we're going to see that for a while. This is probably the next best thing. Mag-fed MegaXL would solve a lot of the diameter problems because you'd be working from something that would insert into the dart, and the interior diameter seems to be more consistent. So fingers crossed there for someday, but in terms of a way to just really quickly shoot a bunch of MegaXL downrange, this thing has really taken the cake for me. Now, unfortunately, I had hoped to get some gameplay footage with this. I did take it to a Foamdemic War down in Massachusetts a few weeks ago, but I had made a huge mistake and I misprinted the RAM base, and it was printed too light and it popped out. We got a little bit of good pictures and stuff out of it, but it's unfortunately gonna have to wait to actually see action until we have some more games put together. But this is a great blaster to run even as like a primary in a game like Defend the Core, where you're trying to get high value ammo into a target, or where you can be part of a team where your job is to take out major threats using something that very accurately shoots large ammo. So that's the Thumper. I think Silly Butts is really onto something with this. I know that he's also working on modules that shoot other ammo types, which you could carry some extra clips and switch between them as you need different things. You could even mix and match the modules if you wanted to for whatever reason, which is a pretty cool system. I really love this harmonica clip. I think it's awesome. I'm going to link to Silly Butts' YouTube down in the description, so if you're interested in building this, you can keep an eye on his channel and find out when this is available for open beta, or whenever he feels like the files are actually done and ready to go. I have no idea if anybody is planning on making or selling these. It's a quirky enough thing that it may just wind up as a Thingiverse, you're on your own sort of situation. Although, I shouldn't say you're on your own. Silly Butts has been super supportive in helping me put this thing together. But I think the hope is that it will be a stable enough build that anyone who is somewhat comfortable with building will be able to do it. I used all hardware that I got from Captain Slug, but he doesn't currently have a kit, obviously, for building this blaster. I essentially got a sort of skewer Talonclaw hybrid kit in order to put this together. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Thumper. I have nothing but nice things to say about it, so I get to say a lot. I'm trying to make another Thumper quote. I'm trying to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, but I only have nice things to say, so the joke just doesn't work. Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Comment, let me know what you think about this thing, and I will see you on the field.